Hello, I'm back. So let's get into why I'm making this video today. I'll go over my stats, but I also want to talk about emotional and trauma dumping. I know I've been doing this and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Part of this channel has always been to share myself and get comfortable on camera. And I have linked in almost every video that I've done since going on a podcast, that podcast interview. And I just happened to click on it while I was getting some work done just to listen, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm getting bored listening to myself. And I'm like, this is the part of like change and growth that you'll experience, and maybe you cringe at yourself regardless, but I'm watching myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's positive comments and I know people are being nice and whatever. People will always be nice and then some people won't. It's just how it works. And so I'm listening to myself in this podcast interview I did. I felt really good about it. I've always felt good about it. But for some reason, I clicked it and then I realized, wow, I just trauma dumped right in the beginning. And to be fair, they did ask, how did I got to this point? And I've just always been such a storyteller that I'm like, let me tell you the backstory so you understand who I am as a person. But not everyone needs to have the backstory. You're not that same person. You're growing, you're expanding. You are probably a whole other new being because your cells have regenerated. Who really knows? Science and the good Lord, or the spiritual ones. Who knows? Something out there knows. But we're just here and we're playing the game, and sometimes it just feels like, who and what type of character do we want to be, and who do we want to be represented as? Because when you put yourself out on the internet, you're branding yourself. You're making a brand of the type of person you are. And like, I was watching this interview and I couldn't believe it. That I noticed this theme that I do with trauma dumping. And I'm really trying to get out of it, but I also realize it's just a part of the growth. It's something that I felt like I needed to get off my chest to move forward. So that's why I don't necessarily regret it. It's also why I've been trying to change this channel in a more positive direction, a more open conversation, and maybe just advice that I would give myself or someone else on the topic that we're discussing. And I really want to continue to go into a podcast style of entertainment. I'm currently trying to save up to trademark a name that I want to use, getting all the little details together on what this looks like long term, but not spending too much time because I gotta get the trademark first, and then that kind of sets everything else in motion. But in the meantime, I'm practicing, I'm putting myself out on the internet, I'm doing the thing that I want to do, maybe not in the setting that I want or with the equipment that I want, but I'm doing it. And that is what I'm trying to, I guess, teach and show and give permission to other people that are watching me that you don't need all these things. You don't need all of that. So let's go ahead and jump into the stats from what I was tracking for a week. I found where I had some weak moments. Now I know where to improve from on that. All right. So on these stats, I was trying to track 7 days, to track the week and the month, to give a perspective on the difference of how I've been doing in 1 week compared to 1 month. So on X, I talked about how I aim for 3 to 4 photos a week. I've kind of been slowing down on Twitter, not on purpose, but also kind of on purpose. I've really been trying to focus more on growing Instagram and TikTok and not really putting a whole lot of effort in Twitter or X. And so I went down to posting about 2 photos a week, but I want to get back to posting 3 to 4 because I do see great engagement. I just don't like to put too many photos back to back. I want it to feel like this is a personal account and that you get a little bit of insight into who I am as a person. So just to let you know if you didn't watch my previous video. But I posted a photo in my bikini outside with a caption that was intriguing to people about how I'm a dirty girl because I had been doing yard work, but I took the yard work out of that and just did some emojis, giving them freedom of imagination of what that sentence says. And it got 3.7 thousand likes when I recorded it on this piece of paper. Then the next day, just kind of funny, I quoted that photo and I was like, I'm talking about yard work. And it got 1.2 thousand likes. So I was trying something there just to see if I could push the engagement a little further, and I did, and I was actually surprised that I did on the quote tweet, simply because it was the same photo. And then did some reposts. Sometimes I repost other people, things that kind of make me laugh or that I relate to. If you think this is funny, I think it's funny. I tried multi-posting, so like back-to-back posting. I had a few like thoughts and I was just kind of like, I'm gonna try it. I don't do this too often, but I was just trying it because sometimes I see other people show up on my feed and it's like, I'll see like a couple of their posts and it's because they're like multi-posting, like they post back to back. Now I don't want to get too crazy, but if maybe there's like a where I'm just trying to create that promotion of getting on someone's feed, I might just say a bunch of silly things, or I might repost a bunch of old photos, or I might post a bunch of new photos. You know, there might be there's a reason for it. There's a rhyme and reason. But it did really well. Like, I mean, it wasn't like crazy numbers, but I was getting pretty like average engagement on all the posts. So I was surprised by that because I expected to take attention away from one or the other. And that's what I usually notice with Twitter, is that's why I kind of stick to not posting too often, because I like to let my posts or photos marinate and continue expanding just based on like the one post or photo instead of like multiple, because then it's like, oh, which one do we push out? Which one, you know, because they're not all gonna be put on people's feet, unfortunately, or at least not the like main page where you get discovered. Maybe your following will see it if they're following you like that. So that's what was going on with X. Statistics, in the 7 days of doing that, I got 511,000 impressions, which was pretty solid. Like, that's pretty good. And then for 30 days, I had 1.7 million impressions, which is pretty average for me. Crazy to think about. And that's just like being myself, being authentic, letting people take a peek into my personality, not being too spammy, and yeah. So that's my strategy with that and my update with that. My Instagram has been looking up. It's been going really well. Trial reels, I've been posting every other day. So I'll do a trial reel, a regular reel, trial reel, regular reel. And they're all over 1,000, or they were at the time when I wrote this down. So crazy. I posted one that I posted a trial reel that I thought would do really good, and it flopped. I don't know if like something got flagged in the video or what happened, but it was like I was getting like over 1,000 on my trial reels, that every single one I posted, and then all of a sudden it went down to like one. Like I got one impression for like hours, and I'm like, huh? Oh, why did it do this? So anyways, I ended up deleting that one low impression reel and just reposting it to my regular audience, and it's doing well now. Not like crazy well, but average engagement. I'm starting to see an average engagement of like 300 to 500 likes on each reel I post. Now, I noticed that my best one is dancing. I usually see a really high engagement on the dancing one, fully clothed, maybe something teasy, but nothing too crazy. I play it safe for work. I really think of the evergreen method with my content and like kind of not doing too much, just kind of like testing the waters here and there, moving my body. I'm a big girl. I can't help where it shakes. So I noticed with the videos that I had posted that week, the dancing one was the best, and it got about 12,000 views at that time. Overall, for the month, I couldn't get a 7-day statistic, but I did get an overall 30 days. My views in total for the platform is 123,000. So that's pretty solid. It's been kind of stagnant, still kind of feeling stagnant, but I guess since the data shows that it's starting to pique people's interest. TikTok, I basically been doing the same thing I've been doing on Instagram, except like they don't have trial reels, but I've been posting every day, and I try to post at the same time, and it's usually most of the time the same video. I'll just like whatever I filmed on Instagram, I'll download that video, upload it to TikTok. TikTok is not like doing crazy well for me at this time, but in the last 7 days, I got up to 22,000 impressions versus my 30 days where I had 46,000. So I'm starting to see an increase in my TikTok videos, and sometimes if it's too spicy, because I'm noticing on TikTok, I'm constantly getting reported for whatever. It seems like whoever it might be, maybe the system, I don't really know. It's like flag, flag, flag. And I was keeping a pretty good streak with not getting flags, but then sometimes when I get one flag, I get another flag. And it's not like past videos. It's like every time I post a video, and it doesn't matter what's in the video, it could be like me fully covered, nothing crazy, and somebody will be like, drugs and alcohol. I'm like, what? I'm just having fun. What do you mean? So yeah, so I've been dealing with that, and I've been appealing, and if I appeal it, if it doesn't, then I will delete the video. If it pushes through, then I'll keep the video up, obviously. But I did notice one of the ones that got flagged was I was seeing like an increase in engagement, like the views were going up, even though it was a flagged video. So maybe it was just so good, nobody could stop it. No, but I have been just kind of monitoring and making sure that I'm following the guidelines, not doing anything too crazy, and if it is, I delete it, and I have backup videos for if I can't post the same content, or if I'm, whatever. So that's how my statistics are looking. That's how my week's been. I'm really just like hanging in there right now, but I'm getting stuff done. I'm making this video. I'm trying to stay on schedule. I hate that I missed Tuesday. I'm tired right now. It's 5 a.m. My sleep schedule is like kind of messed up at the moment. I'm honestly more productive at night. I like that no one can bother me. Like, I probably could make some money at night, but honestly, the nighttime sometimes it's just like for me. I want it to myself. So I put my phone on do not disturb. I put some music or a podcast on, and I get to work on the really, really boring stuff. And usually, like, once I get done with like the boring stuff, then I can get my sleep schedule back on track. And I am trying to work, like I'm doing a big project right now where I'm organizing all my content, and because I'm getting ready to reuse some of it, some that's never been seen before, making a new menu. And so I'm kind of just prepping for that because I have so much, and I can't keep producing all this content and doing nothing with it. So I need to do something with it. I honestly kind of feel like, because I've been losing weight, it's like I'm gonna be posting all these old videos, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna be like snatched. And you're gonna be like, oh, where'd she come from? Where'd she go? What'd she do? Ozempic? No, just me, natural. I've lost 65 naturally, just eating healthy, moving my body. Honestly, what's kind of jump-started my weight loss was 2 different reasons. One, seeing myself on my camera outside, I was walking and I had this like wobble, and I was like, oh my gosh, we gotta fix that. That's embarrassing. I needed to change my life. And then the second thing was I was out of breath tying my shoe. Not my second shoe, my first shoe. It was like a workout for me. And probably because my stomach had just gotten so big that like leaning over was like a stretch. And now to kind of like be in the body that I'm at, I'm feeling a lot more grateful. And I feel like this time around, like I'm not focused on like completely the appearance. Like, yeah, like I'm trying my best to look good and prevent the loose skin. I want to believe what I'm doing, some stuff that like doing it slowly, not jumping on Ozempic, not starving myself, that I can make my body snatch back naturally. I'm being hopeful. And honestly, I'm doing this just in general to live and be healthy. I'm committing to this long term, and so I'm just appreciating the journey, taking in what I've learned, what I don't want to do anymore, what my triggers are, what my patterns are, how I end up binging. So I'm learning these things, and I'm learning how to correct them. And that was the problem before, is I didn't know what my limits were, and then it just got out of control. But now I'm feeling really good about myself, and I'm also feeling really good about my old content when I was bigger, because like I said, I'm seeing myself from a new perspective. I'm still the same person, and I like the person that I am, and people like the person I am, so I'm doing something right. So I'm just gonna keep doing it, and maybe I'm gonna put out this old content and then disappear. You're not gonna see the current me. Probably not, but you'll probably see me, because I'll probably do some lives and stuff like that. But you'll see both. You'll see all the sides of me. I kind of think that's what's interesting, is that you're gonna get like all these different versions of me. Even though I'm the same person, you get all these different versions. And honestly, I've come to love every version of myself, because you kind of have to. You can't always beat yourself up. Yes, I hate that I even got to that point in my life where I weighed that much and then I waddled like that and I couldn't tie my shoe, but I had to learn the hard way, and it was just one of those things, and it's just part of life, and you can't change it once it's done. You just gotta move forward. And you can really take that advice anywhere in your life, that you can't keep dwelling and thinking about what you did in the past. You just gotta fix it now. And I feel like, once you learn those things and it's like in your head, it's almost like, for me at least, if you have an insight, if you have a voice in your head, it's like you know better, so don't do that. And then you just slowly grow and evolve as a human being, and then you sprout into a big tree, and then anyways, thanks for hanging out with me this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really good to just kind of get these things off my chest, get up to date with what I've been doing. Hopefully I can provide an even better update coming soon with all the stuff that I'm working on, and yeah, hold myself accountable a little bit more. I need to get back to some of my passion project. And I need to get back to the artist way, because I haven't stopped reading and working on it, but I realized that it's a journey. You are going to change. If you don't change when you read that book and do the exercises, then you probably just need to start it over, because you probably missed something, because holy moly, it's crazy. Alright, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, or just me in general, or get to know me, or do I gotta convince you much more? If you watched all the way through, maybe you like me, maybe you're like, who is this person? Please subscribe. It's a free way to support this channel, and I am posting every Tuesday at 2 p.m. unless I get an eye infection or whatever it may be. I'm noticing that I'm hurting myself a lot, and I gotta slow down. I'll be here every Tuesday, 2 p.m, working on this podcast style content as I work towards an actual podcast in the future. So if you want to stick around with me and grow with me, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Alright guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for hanging out. Bye!